All right. Just going to do a brief introduction. Hey, everyone, this is Dee, and this is the night of mediumship with Jess and myself. And we were so excited to be here, and we got the okay to record this video from everyone who is present. So, and if there are any readings that come across that are going to be more personal, then we will take those off the recording and actually do those privately after this meeting is over. So just want to throw that out there. Thank you everyone for being here. I'm so excited. And Jess and I feel I'm going to speak for you a little bit here, Jess, because we are so grateful and we feel so blessed to have the gifts that we have and to be able to share this with y'all in this real cozy situation, because there's not many of us here. So it's just a nice, real cozy situation here. And so we're very grateful and feel very blessed to be here.
Yes, indeed. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying thank you for saying that. I mean, we all feel so excited too.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I can introduce myself a little further because I haven't met you. Have you met these gals, Dee? I mean, I know Bonnie. Bonnie knows me.
I don't think I've no. But do you go by a different name too?
I do not know. Okay. I'm Angela on the Facebook group and.
Okay. No, I have not met you.
I'm Jess.
I've met Sandy, but that's it. Bonnie, we have talked.
Looks like someone's joining.
Yeah.
Well, it might be me. Oh no.
It's okay. Hang on.
What?
Oh, did you get
Hi.
it? What is happening?
Maybe. Bonnie, you're on.
Been here twice.
She has 2 links. It's like she has 2 links up.
No, I got one. I just took it down.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, Lord. I gotta put the ID back in.
Don't do anything different. I'm gonna change your name again.
Okay, because I don't see anybody.
All right. Okay.
It's like your screen is froze or something.
Okay, hold on a second.
No, don't do anything. Hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dee.
Oh no, you're fine.
Oh.
You're fine, Bonnie, whatever you need to do. I'm not quite sure what's happening.
It's wanting my email again.
Hi, Pascal.
Oh.
Hello. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's okay. As long as you can hear us. Can you see us, Bonnie?
Nope.
Oh.
That's okay. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. Well, anyway, I was just going to introduce myself a little. I'm Jessica, or Jessie, any of the above. I'm up here in Indiana. I'm not sure where everyone else is. Dee and I have been friends for a really long time, about 17, 18 years. We went to nursing school together and just kind of have been on this journey together for about, gosh, Dee, 10 years, maybe somewhere around there.
It's been a little longer than that, actually.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster, but always interesting, fun, and at times makes you feel a little crazy. It's like, is this real? Am I making this up?
Yeah.
But just wanted to give you guys a little bit, a little tidbit about me. I'm still actively practicing nursing here in Indiana. Work in a doctor's office and just raising my youngest girl. Still, I have 2 older ones that are grown and out of the house. And well, that's about it in a nutshell anyway. But if no objections, I would like to kind of get started. I have had little one here with me for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes now. And I don't know how long, this will be. But I have a baby girl. I'm not good with names. But I have this baby girl and I keep getting 28, and I'm wondering if it's 28 weeks or the 28th, maybe a date. But I feel like this was a preemie. I have April. I don't know if this is the name April or the month of April. And I'm seeing a lot of zeros. I don't know. Does this make sense to anybody? A baby girl, 28 weeks, maybe 28th day of a month. April 28th, April as a name. I feel a gurgling in the back of my throat, like there's phlegm or liquid, maybe like aspiration, maybe inhaled some liquid. But I also feel like this little baby girl had an NG tube or nasogastric tube that goes through the nose and down the throat into the stomach to feed. Does this resonate with anybody? No, I'm not getting anyone. This little girl, she's here. So maybe it's for someone you know. I'm not sure. But this baby girl, she does not want, and I've gotten this from one other child. She doesn't want anyone to feel like she didn't have a chance to live. Because what she did, what she did know of life was all love. Just love. She didn't experience, I'm start getting emotional. She didn't experience heartache or pain or, any sadness. It was all she knew was love. And again, I don't know who this is for, and I'm sorry it doesn't resonate with anyone on here, but
Right.
that is she's been with me. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so sometimes when a spirit comes in, it could be a sister's situation. Like if you have a sister or a friend who went through this, or, an aunt or anyone, that may have gone through, a neighbor. Sometimes these spirits they will come in and just like deliver their messages, and it may not make sense now, but you may be talking to someone about this in the next few days and they'll be like, oh, don't you remember so and so, but they've given you the message because they're here to do that. So it doesn't always make sense in the moment, but later on you'll find that you put those puzzle pieces together and you'll know exactly who was here with us tonight.
Mhm.
Can I just
Yeah.
say something?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
It not makes any sense, but it's not now though. I actually worked for someone, and she it was not a preemie, but she actually had an abortion at the age of 5 months. So it was, I don't know if it was a preemie, but it was around April time.
Oh my, okay.
Because that would be
Okay.
about 28 weeks, be 20 something weeks
20,
right
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know, I can ask, but it's interesting because I just had a text message. I actually sent her a message to ask for some advice recently
Oh,
on
okay.
that
Okay.
particular subject. So I don't know, it's interesting.
Maybe the 28, like I said, could have been the
28
day.
weeks.
Or
No,
well, or
the parents had decided to terminate the pregnancy. I wasn't there, but I was actually away, and it happened when I was away. But I just had this conversation 2 weeks ago with her.
okay. Okay.
But I don't know, it's in coincidence. I don't know. But
We
Yeah.
don't believe in coincidences.
We don't. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't. Not at all.
But maybe,
but you asked me, like, you ask what it brings a bell, but that's the only thing that I come up with personally.
that could,
be.
yeah, it could, could be. And the 28th could be the 28th day of April. I want to say, I said 28 weeks, or maybe the 28th, something with 28th. But yeah, she does not want them to feel like anything was missed, or probably have any bad feelings about it, because all she knew was love for that short time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I'm gonna try to clear that one out, Dee. I don't know if you have anyone coming through yet.
Well, I've had a couple people show themselves to me today. I haven't really gotten any. I shouldn't say I haven't gotten any messages. I've gotten a couple just like small messages, and I am at the place right now where like the longer we talk about it, the more I'm sitting in the energy of it, the more it comes through for me. So I've had two people show up today for me. One is a kind of a tallish, not real tall, but a tall, thin, slim, not super thin, but slim lady with blonde hair. And I saw her most recently with like a brown leather bomber jacket on with like the black fur collar. And she almost
Oh,
looked
yeah.
like a pinup, like if you think of like those older pinup girls. So maybe she was a grandmother to someone, or like that cool aunt, you know, but and the only thing she said to me was, "Oh, darling, you don't need to worry about it. I'm fine." Like like she would have been that type of person that was just a very strong personality that was very independent, didn't want people worrying about her, did things herself. Her personality kind of reminds me of my grandma. It's not my grandma, but my grandma Coke. She kind of reminds me of that kind of personality where she would be very, almost a little bit gruff because she didn't want you to be pampering her. She stood in her power, that kind of personality. I don't know if that resonates with anyone.
Not off the top of my head.
Mm-mm.
And then the other person who came through is a kind of a short, and when I was talking to Jessica, because he actually came through before we got on this call today, and Jessica and I were on the phone, as kind of almost like a Danny DeVito kind of character, not that short, but a shorter guy, like real like stocky and kind of like beefy, and just a really like funny guy. Like he was just really funny, and like he like has things to say and he wants to talk. So if anybody knows that guy, like he really wants to come forward and say some stuff. But anybody connect with him at all?
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, I don't, it's kind of hard to know if it's someone that I could be thinking it could be. So,
Yeah, well, let's talk
I
about it
mean,
and we'll see.
okay. It would be so cool if it was. What should I say?
Well, how does he sound familiar to you? Would he have been like, because when I see him in my vision, I see him as like maybe late 50s, early 60s as he's presenting himself to me, but like just a very funny guy, like almost like a little boisterous in his personality.
Well, I don't know. Now I'm wondering if it could be because the guy who I'm thinking of, he would be quite a bit younger than that age.
Give me a
But-
code off my email.
So yeah, I don't know. So I mean, he is funny, the guy I'm thinking of. So, but it would have been he would have been probably only about, let me see, maybe 50-ish. I mean, I don't know if that.
Well, I said late
You know.
50s, so
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is he
Well,
like an uncle to you?
No, it actually, it would be. I just want to be quieter. If who I'm thinking of is actually my son's father, who
Okay.
passed away. He passed away about maybe 10 years ago.
Okay,
Around
that's why I didn't get that. Like it felt more of like an uncle relationship, but y'all aren't together.
Okay.
So
I mean, we were married at the time, but it's been a
right.
long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that,
You think it could be?
yeah, I mean, did he have dark hair? Because this guy has dark hair.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, it's kind of balding though.
Yes,
I mean,
like Danny DeVito.
yeah.
That's why Danny
Any
DeVito
kind of
came to my mind.
any facial hair at all?
I didn't notice that, I just pick up
Yeah.
on certain features sometimes depending on how they present
Yeah.
themselves, and sometimes it's not as much detail as it is, but he's fine,
Yeah.
he's happy. He's just he's a funny guy. Like he didn't say anything in particular. And and that's what, kind of I don't always get a lot of verbal communication. Sometimes it's just a matter of them coming and letting you know they're hanging out and they're around you and they want you to know that they're okay. And
Yeah.
I just know this guy
Well,
seems to be very funny and just a fun guy to be around.
well, I feel like, I mean, I feel like that actually, it could be. I mean, honestly, I've been asking a lot of my people to start showing up. So, and he's the one that I would think of if it was for me. And if not, then I
Yeah.
still like to think maybe it was. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and actually, to be honest, when he passed, I had like a dream of something, even though we weren't together at the time, and I didn't, when I had the dream, um it was just it was like somebody had a frog in their hand and a frog came up out of their hand, and I
Mhm.
woke up and I just was kind of upset. And the next morning is when I found out that he had died, and immediately I connected it to that. Like I felt like that was him. Like, so he's actually probably the only one that I've ever felt that. Well, no, not the only one, but so I mean, it might be
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it is, Sandy. It's
You
that,
think so?
yeah,
I would. Okay.
because he's just letting you know that he's around and he's still present in your life, even though you can't see him anymore. And
Yeah.
goosebumps.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dee. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and if he says more while we're chatting, because like I said, the more I sit in the energy, the more it comes through. So it's
Mhm.
kind of that way for
Okay.
me at this point, because I'm learning. I've done this my whole entire life, y'all. The thing is, I've never intentionally set and connected with intention before. So and like pursued those messages. So that's the piece that I'm working to open up more to, which is why I wanted to start doing this so that I can
Mhm.
open up those channels more so that I can give, because listen, the whole thing is about this mediumship stuff, and it's so important to me because we all need this. It's not just that it's
Yes.
cool to talk to someone who has crossed over. The messages I have gotten for my own personal self have changed my life, and that's why I'm doing this.
Thank you, Dee. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Hey, Dee,
Yes.
it's Bonnie. It says that you took me out of the meeting and I can hear you guys. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah,
Yes, we can
yeah.
hear
And
you.
I can
We
see.
just can't see you.
Yeah,
It said that it says that Dee took me out.
I took one of you out because there was two of you and we were getting a lot of feedback.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah, it was
go out
echoing.
and go back in. Okay.
Yes, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. Thanks.
Mhm.
Gotta love technology. And just as
Right.
an aside, I have been doing this new meditation that Stephen Harefield taught Jessica and myself in a private meeting with him. And ever since I have started doing this meditation, all these crazy things keep happening with electronics and other things around me, but a lot with electronics, with my car, like all these bizarre things are happening. So it does not surprise me a bit that we're having some technical issues with someone here today, because that's kind of how things have been going for me since I started doing that meditation. So hmm. Jeff,
Okay.
what you doing over there, my friend?
Yeah. I start writing stuff down because when I gotta stay on course here. So now I have a tall, slender man. Imagine that. But he has salt and pepper hair. I don't even know if it's salt and pepper. It's like black with dark gray in it, if that makes sense. but it's a toupee. Anyone know a tall, slender guy? He's
Spirit
like,
tells all the
you didn't have to
secrets.
say all that. Yeah, he didn't want me saying all that. Well, hey, it's a defining, feature. I see him in black slacks, a dark gray shirt. Matches his hair. I mean, I almost wonder if this isn't funeral attire. But he's pretty sarcastic. He's got a great sense of humor, but I keep getting a pain in my head. I feel like, and this is so funny that we were just talking about this earlier about experiencing like physical symptoms from spirit. And it's happened to me a couple times, but this is like twice today now, these two. My head was just really hurting, like right where I put my hands. Like I feel like there's a lot of pressure, maybe a trauma. Is this anybody know anyone like this?
And I'm wondering if it's not for Bonnie and she's not here yet. So let me message her. and-
Oh, okay.
Y'all can keep chatting. I'm just gonna shoot her a little text and see.
Well, I'm working here.
She's working. She's communicating.
I'm
Here she
working.
comes.
I'm
I think that's her. Did that sound familiar to anyone else? No.
I missed it, so
Bonnie.
I don't know.
okay. So
Bonnie,
I'm all right.
She's gonna go back over it again.
I'll
Okay.
start over. So I'm picking up a tall, slender man. He had a tall, slender man with, I said salt and pepper, but I don't think it's really salt and pepper. It was more like black hair with dark gray in with it. But he's wearing a toupee. He didn't like me saying that. But he's wearing black slacks and a dark gray shirt, button down shirt. And I said, I almost wonder if it's funeral attire. He's sarcastic. He's got a great sense of humor. But I was telling them that I'm feeling this pain on each side of my head, like there might have been head trauma.
Oh.
Or maybe something wrong with the brain, possibly. That could be it too. I'm wondering if this isn't like a father type figure, maybe a grandfather, because he seems like he was kind of strict, not in a bad way, not in, not overly strict, but you did what you were told. But very loving, strict, very loving. Anybody? Well, I'm okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna see if he'll give me anything else. If you guys have any questions, by all means, throw them out there to us. How are you doing, Bonnie?
I'm trying to take it all in because you know how much I am into this and how much I'm learning from you guys. And it's just very, very interesting.
Is Dad there with you?
Yes, he's right here.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mike.
Yes.
Hey, Dee.
Hey, Dave.
Dad, did you hear any of that?
No, because I had headsets in to be able to hear y'all.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and see, that's another thing
But
too. If someone else's energy is in, it could be that it's someone else that's in the
Okay.
room. A lot of
Oh,
times that
okay.
happens. If their energy is really strong and they want to talk to that person, they will like push everybody out of the way and get their message through. So you might ask Mike if that person sounds familiar to him, because it could be for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I
Do
asked
you-
if Dad's there.
Yeah. Do you know, Michael? Yoo-hoo. A tall, slender man that has salt and pepper hair.
A toupee.
Wears a toupee. Might be dressed in kind of like funeral attire. or anything
Black
like that.
slacks, dark gray shirt,
A
sarcastic,
black slacks,
strict.
stripy shirt, sarcastic, strict. That wouldn't be Sam, would it?
No, it's not Sam.
But he's tall and slender,
But and I'm
he don't wear a
feeling,
toupee.
I feel like the head trauma or
Feel like
or
that
the
was a head
pain
trauma.
is significant.
Be her. His
Peter isn't tall
his-
and wears a toupee.
oh no, he had the head trauma, but he wasn't anything like that.
Okay.
Head trauma.
The only one
Okay.
I can think of who would be built like that would have been my great granddad, Tommy Webb.
Great granddad
He
Tommy
was
Webb,
like
but
87,
no head
I think, when
injury.
he died.
no head injury.
But no, he
No.
just went out one day, sat down in the swing, and went to sleep and never woke up.
Yeah.
Could have
Huh.
been
So
a
he
stroke,
he just
Jess.
yeah. Heart attack, they thought.
Why is that? Who's watching over me?
That's what he said.
Wow, sounds like we have a connection, Jess.
Possibly.
He
It-
needs
well,
to get to step in.
But you were really close, right?
Who's that?
With him.
Who?
Your great granddad or whoever you
No,
just.
that's what I said. I never knew him.
Oh, you didn't know him. Oh, I see.
you don't have to. Yeah,
That's
you don't
right.
have
Yeah,
to.
you don't have to.
Mm-mm.
Well, he was a family member.
Okay.
Him and
Mm.
Milford Adams were the only two.
Okay. He said that's the only one that connects with him.
Okay. I feel like, yeah, it is something with the head. Like it doesn't have to be the trauma, but like I said, something with the brain, like Dee said, could have been a stroke, aneurysm, tumor
Aneurysm.
even. They said he woke up or fell asleep and didn't wake back up. And they never determined. Okay. So now I see this guy on, well, Dad, probably because Dad said went out on the swing, but now I see him like in bib overalls and a green t-shirt,
Bib
V-neck.
overalls and a green t-shirt.
Yep, V-neck, brown work boots. I see like a
V-neck brown.
white
That sounds
fishing
like
hat.
mud.
I see like a white fishing hat.
A white
Or
fishing hat.
light colored. Yeah, it has the kind of the floppy rim all around.
Bucket hat.
Hold on, Jess. I'm trying to get it so he can hear you. Hold on, honey. Hold on. Here, Michael, you're missing. Come over here real quick. He can't hear from where he's at, Jesse. You know that.
He can't hear anyway.
No, that's what I mean.
She was trying to be diplomatic.
Hi, Dad.
Hi,
Okay,
Dad.
go
We
ahead,
love you so
Jesse.
much.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, kiddo.
Okay, so I'll go over this again with you real quick.
I'm sorry.
Tall, slender guy. I feel he wears a toupee, so maybe I don't know. You said this guy didn't. I see him in black slacks, dark gray shirt, and I keep saying like maybe possibly funeral attire just because it's so dressy and he's wearing dark, I guess. But I feel pain on each side of my head, and I don't know if it's like I said, either it may be a trauma or something to do with the brain. Could have been like a tumor, aneurysm, but very like sarcastic, had a really good sense of humor, but at the same time strict, strict but very loving. And then after you said something about the swing, and I don't know if it just put it in my head, but then I see this man sitting on like a porch swing, kind of like that type of swing, but not on the porch. It's actually, I see it more out in a yard, and he has on really old faded bib overalls, a green t-shirt with a V-neck, brown work boots, and a white fishing hat, like how the brim is floppy all around.
That could
Like a-
possibly
like a-
have been Guy Hayes, but I
Uncle-
don't ever remember Guy ever wearing a hat.
Uncle Guy. He said possibly his Uncle Guy.
Okay. Well, I just got goosebumps, so maybe that is him. Woo!
It felt like it to me, Jesse.
I just got like goosebumps
Yeah,
all over.
I kind of did too.
Did Uncle Guy didn't wear a toupee? Did he? Where's this toupee coming from?
Maybe-
I'm not sure.
Maybe they thought did he have really great hair and people thought he was wearing a toupee? Because maybe that's it.
Well, it was got kind of thin and gray, but he never wore it. In fact, I do not actually know anyone who ever wore a toupee.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Maybe it was a standing joke or something. I don't know, but he was like, "Well, you didn't have to say that when I said something about the toupee the first time."
Oh wow.
Okay. Well, maybe it is Uncle Guy then.
It's possible.
I was saying this kind of at the beginning. And I've told Dee before, there's only been one time that I have gotten a name right. I don't know why, and that one was like, boom, I had it right away and I knew it was right. But we'll get there. Okay. Uncle Guy.
He did have beautiful hair when he was younger. I remember Grandma Webb used to talk about how beautiful wavy hair he had.
I bet
Well,
you
this is
that's it.
it's pretty, well, maybe it looked like it or something.
Uh-huh.
What I see is short though. So
Yeah,
it's
he wore his hair was
shorter, but it's
short.
kind of longer on top, a little bit longer on top, but of course
Uh-huh.
short all around the sides.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Did he have false teeth?
Yes.
Guy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No, I don't think Guy had
Yeah,
false
I
teeth.
do. Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes,
Mhm.
ma'am.
They
Yes,
must have
sir.
been good ones. I never knew it.
Must have been good ones. Well, wooden ones that Washington
You guys are crazy.
had. That's very true.
George had to be careful. He'd have got splinters chewing on a bone.
Who's
Yes.
that, his dog?
There's other people on here.
That's all
So-
right. Have y'all met me? Hello.
So I just wrote believe.
Oh, I have
Believe.
no doubts.
Okay.
Believe is one of my favorite words.
Okay. And then 3 dots. So I guess I'm supposed to say something after that. I don't know. But yeah, I just got believe. So I don't know, maybe Dad, you don't have any doubts?
No,
Okay.
I have no reason not to believe.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why we watch you two, because I'm always a believer, always believed in what you do. I told Jesse this little story when I was about 22, I think. My niece and I went and had our palms read. And we thought it was a joke, to be honest with you. And we thought, we heard a lot about this woman. She was in Peru, Indiana. And we thought, well, we're just going to go do that because I have a little ESP, but nothing what you guys are doing. Nothing. I wish I did. And we came out of there laughing and carrying on and cutting up and just had the best day. And she gave us the future to the T, both of us, to the T, to this day. And that made me a big believer
Yeah.
in higher power.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, it's there. It's set for you. You just don't know it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a wild ride.
It is. It's so
Okay,
interesting.
Jess, Jess, you said this was a tall, older gentleman, right?
Yes.
Okay, back when I was about 17, me and another guy and a couple girls went out to this older lady that lived way out the other side of Madison Grant High School. Her name was Daisy and supposedly had the gift. Back then, she told me she could see nothing bad about my future, but I was being watched over by a tall, slender, older gentleman. That would have been from the description my dad always
Oh my
said
gosh.
would have been my great granddad, who, to my knowledge, I never saw. I think he died either shortly after I was born or very close to it.
There you go.
Wow.
So
Now
awesome.
that was back when I
Wow.
was 17.
There you
That's
go.
so awesome. I love it how it just comes together,
It
and
does. It's beautiful.
that is so cool. That is so
That is
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
You knew you'd get it, Jesse. You knew you'd get it.
Oh, I'm trying.
Y'all, I just want to say something. I'm going to tell on you just for a second, Jess. We were chatting the other day and she's like, I can't read for my family. There's no way, Dee. And I was like, now, Jess,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
I don't know who's going to come through. I'm just saying,
I
Yeah.
don't. I don't.
Jess,
I
Uh-huh.
was
your
well.
camp
I
just got shot in the ass. That's all I'm saying, right?
right. I know. Shock. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
you
I
get.
feel like, that we know our family and friends, and so
Yeah.
I just don't want any interference. You know what I mean?
Yes.
My own personal emotional interference. So,
Right.
but yeah, that's pretty cool. We don't have control over who comes.
We don't. And
That's right.
that's the thing. Spirit does what spirit wants. Like if it's you could want someone to come through, but the loud, like Angela, you may have like your people may be like more quiet and reserved, and then these loud, obnoxious people are just like me. I'm talking. You know what I mean? It is exactly like that. So your people may just be more quiet and reserved, and they've got to wait for all these loudmouths to shut up before they come.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
people are more quiet and reserved.
See what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Look, we take our time, we sit back and we watch everybody else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's what we do.
Yeah. So that just yours may be at the very tail end of what we're doing tonight, then, while everyone else is
Or
just
they may decide to just not.
yeah, and they may
And
not.
that's
They may
You
just
never
fine
know.
too.
yeah.
Or they're sitting
It's
back and watching. Like you
yeah.
said.
I mean, it's interesting how things happen. Like when Jess and I first came in, the back of my neck and my shoulders were being tickled. So we're like, I was laughing and like squirming around, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my dad. That was my dad. That's totally what he would come up and tickle the back of your neck. He was just really funny and stuff. So my dad made his appearance
Wow.
before we got on camera, and that was really cool for him to let me know he's here.
Well, I'm glad you told the others how loud and obnoxious we are, because as we've got so many in the family, you have to be loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, so the whole family's like this.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I have a couple of those, but they're still around.
Oh,
Oh,
that's just as
goodness.
an aside though, spirit souls do souls can still come to you even if the person is living, right? Because I've had that experience,
Mhm.
and a lot of times people will have that experience too. If like there's danger or something, like someone will come to them that's living, and it's just a soul, because spirit is spirit. It's not tied down. Our physical body can only be in one place at one time. That is not the case with our spirit. Our spirit can go wherever,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that can happen. It really can. You can still get that
Mhm.
communication with spirit, even though that person is living. But it's not as
Mhm.
common, and it's usually in situations where there's a sense of urgency, but it can happen.
Mhm.
Or
Wow.
if you're
Do you,
thinking of
do
that person
you
really profoundly.
do you remember when we were talking about the Claires and Claire audience, and how I said I've heard Mackenzie, my oldest daughter Mackenzie, talk like twice? I've heard her. Both of those times that I've heard her, she was in trouble at that time.
Yeah.
The first time when she said, hey mom, at that she was getting robbed at gunpoint.
Um,
And the other time, it wasn't as bad as that, but she was pulled over. She didn't get a ticket, thank goodness, but that's when I heard the here. So it's like,
gotcha.
what are you handing me something?
Maybe that's what she was handing the
But
copper.
yeah, that's the two times.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Maybe she was handing the cop her license and registration.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, yeah. That's the 2 times that I've had that clear audience so profoundly. It's whoa. I've heard it plain as day. But anyway,
Yeah.
how Dee, how you doing over there?
I'm like not getting anyone coming through for me right now at all. Yeah.
Any you want to try to pull some cards?
Yeah, I can. Does anyone have any questions about any of this stuff that you would like to discuss? And then I did bring my cards if anybody wants a reading. If you have a specific question
I'm glad you did
on a
because I
general
sure
reading.
forgot mine. Yeah, I left mine downstairs.
Y'all don't be shy. Even if I did bite, which I don't, but even if I did, I can't get to you through this computer screen, so you're safe.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I know I'm typically pretty quiet, so I just wanted to. I'm just loving this, and just so you know what you guys are
Yes.
sharing and stuff. It's been awesome.
It has
Good.
been awesome.
Even
Yes,
if
it has.
more people aren't coming through, this is just so cool, and that's so cool that that's your parents. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Dee, what you had said before, I think it was that same video about the Claires where Jessica talked about her daughter, what she had heard. And Dee, you had mentioned that your mom came to you and said she was proud of you. And that was like really moving as well. I mean, that was beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's so
can't,
beautiful.
I would hope that someday, my mom would tell me she's proud of me. She's still alive. Maybe it'll happen before she goes, maybe after. Who knows?
Well, it didn't happen before my parents crossed over. I can tell you that there was
I know,
no,
it's
I
happened.
mean, unfortunately, my mom, I never even got to see her and face to face before she became unresponsive. I did get to see my dad, but my parents went to their grave without giving me their
Mm.
approval. But I have it now, and
Yeah.
that's why I feel
Yes.
so blessed and honored
Yes.
to have this gift. And in the way that I have it, where I experienced the whole shebang, because I've
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
conversations with my parents, and anyone who is concerned in the least little bit about what happens on the other side, if their people are holding grudges or mad at them or anything like that, that does not exist over there. And I know that from
Oh, thank
personal
goodness.
experience because my parents
That's
were
good.
Pentecostal, and that is a very strict religion. If y'all don't know anything about it, it is one of
Mhm.
the strictest religions aside from Catholic that there
Mhm.
is. And
Wow.
everything outside of their belief system and it is going to send you straight to the depths of hell. I mean, it is bananas. And I am the epitome of the exact opposite of what they believe in Pentecost. Like, I don't go to church. I cut my hair. I have tattoos. I wear pants. I wear shorts. For God's sake, I talk to dead people, and I am intuitive and all of these things that are just so taboo in that religion. And my parents are proud of me. Both of my parents
That's
have come to
right.
me, told me they're proud of me.
Amazing.
There's no judgment. My
That's
dad did
right.
not cuss. One day when he was talking to me just not too long ago, he said shit. And I literally went, "Did you just say shit, Dad? What? You don't cuss? What is happening right now?" Because it doesn't exist over there. It doesn't, I mean, like, I use all kinds of words. Words are words and they have what meaning we give them. I can say just, "Hey girl," and girl is a perfectly appropriate thing for me to say in that situation. But if I tell a dude he throws like a girl, that's bad. You know what I mean? That is bad.
Yep. Yep.
It changes the whole connotation of that word, and it's not even a cuss word. And now you throw in cuss words into the mix and people get all kinds of sideways. It's a word, and if
Yeah.
you're saying
Yeah.
sugar or fudge or whatever, y'all just say the damn word, because that's what you mean anyway. So that's the meaning you're putting to the good word that you're using. So it then becomes a bad word. So, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Well, you-
beautiful because the love exists. There's an awareness. Okay. There's an awareness over there of what things happened, transpired, got said, got done when they were in their physical bodies. There is an awareness of that because my mom actually, and I don't talk about this like ever, but my mom isolated my dad from his family.
Oh, wow.
And she came to me the other day and she said to me, I'm so sorry I kept your dad from you.
Oh.
Oh,
And
my.
and I told her, I'm like, Mom, it's okay. And then I was like, no, it's not okay. But I guess that's just the way it had to be for whatever reason in this life. That's the situation that I agreed to in my soul contract, if y'all believe in those. And that's a whole nother story we're not going to get into right now. But so there's an awareness, but there's no guilt or anger. They don't hold grudges. So this business of people beating themselves up because they had a fight with that person before they left and they got in that car accident that killed them, or because they weren't there when they died, or the last words they said to them before they went to bed that night were cross words. They don't hold grudges. They don't. All they
Wow.
remember is the love. So we are the ones, us humans are the ones in our physical bodies that beat ourselves up and give ourselves the poundings that we do because they don't look at it that way anymore. They don't have this petty bullshit that we have as
Yeah.
humans. That's the logical mind. That's what we have to dissect and put meanings on everything. It's not that way
Yeah.
in the spirit world.
So when you were talking about is it the Claires? Is that how you say
Yes.
that the
Mhm.
other night?
Yes.
And you have that with your family and you're close, but then it goes away. Why?
There are many reasons
What do
that
you
it
mean?
can go away, and we can block it out. Jessica and I were just talking about this, how she did that pretty hardcore in the beginning. Like, I don't have time for this. I've got this to do. I've got this to do. I do not have time to talk in spirit. Just y'all shut up. And we can set that boundary. We can set that boundary. But, if we're in depression or we're in deep grief and our vibration is lower, their vibration is so high. We have to rise up to meet it, and they have to come down a little bit for us to meet and be able to communicate. Right. So if
Oh,
you're in these really, really deep, dark emotions, then you can't get yourself up high enough to be able to communicate with them. So it's not really an intentional shutting offness. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is.
Mhm.
Like I have
mhm.
boundaries around it, in specific times of the day when I'm not talking to spirit. But sometimes it's intentional, but sometimes it's not. It's just a matter of your vibration is so low because you're in depression or grief or whatever, that you can't get up high enough to be able to experience it.
But when you've done it, you've talked to whoever for so long and they've always been there for you and you've always said, hey, I need to talk to you, and you get the sign, and then all of a sudden you don't get the signs anymore. You wonder what's happened, where are you? I guess I was how to say it, where are you? And then
When
you
you haven't
wonder,
heard from that person for a while,
yeah,
no signs or yeah.
yeah,
And
and it's not, it's just, it hasn't happened in
yeah.
11 years.
And sometimes it's a
Wow.
matter
That's
of we need to get ourselves to a different place. And so
Yeah.
we need to not rely on that, so to speak. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's just like when I was going through some spiritual growth and I wanted to, like, I had days where I wanted to really talk to somebody, like my friend, I needed to talk to them, and none of them were
Mhm.
available. There was not text me
Mhm.
back. They weren't calling me, nothing. And then what I realized in that moment is they weren't supposed to. The universe was giving me this opportunity for me to go inside and find that answer within myself and find the strength within myself.
Oh, okay.
So,
That
sometimes
makes
it's a
sense.
matter of, hey, you've got it. You're strong enough, you're smart enough, you're capable enough. You can stand on your own. You don't need me to be
Mhm.
there for you. You need to learn
Mhm.
whatever it
Okay.
is in that space of time that you were relying on that person for. You need to become self-reliant on whatever that issue is. Sometimes that's
Dang it.
yeah.
You hate it. You hate not having that
Oh, because
closeness.
it's like, you know, quitting something cold turkey, like, like I don't do drugs or anything like that, but coffee, I drink a cup of coffee every morning. If I quit cold turkey, I'm going to get one of those caffeine headaches, like,
Yes.
so it's
Uh-huh.
painful. It's painful for
Mhm.
that to just stop like that because you're so used to
Mhm.
having it. But sometimes it's the
Mhm.
kindest thing they can do for us is just make us do it on our own because we're stubborn. And if we keep getting that, then we're not going to become self-reliant in that way. So it really is kind of a gift that they give us in that way.
Thank you. It makes sense. Thank you.
Dee, I feel like you need to pull a card. I don't know. I keep saying it, and I do. I feel like you need to pull a card either for me or for Bonnie,
Well,
or
which one of
anyone
y'all
else who
wants
wants
some?
one. But
Who
Oh,
wants a
I'm
but I
I'm
card?
do.
I'm game. I'm game.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Can you pull one for Bonnie
Yeah,
first?
do you have a specific
Sure.
question, Bonnie?
Um, I just want to get healthy. That's been my 3-year story in a
Okay.
lot of ways.
Um, what I want to say about that is that and this goes for everybody, but I'm just going to say this because I feel like I need to. And I'm sorry if this comes across a little harshly. I'm going to say it as nicely as I can. When we keep doing the
Oh, don't
same
you?
thing, we're not going to get different results. We have to change what we're doing if we want different results. So I'm not going to ask you to elaborate on anything. I'm just going to ask you to take that piece of advice and just sit with it and see what that brings you. Okay. And then let me draw a card.
Mhm.
You want a card around your health.
Just it could be around anything really. I'm game with anything. I mean, good, bad, or indifferent. I believe in y'all. I mean, I believe in y'all, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. You take the good with the bad.
Yes.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm not afraid.
Isn't there
Jesse
a
knows
song
that.
like
I'm not
that?
afraid.
Take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
Facts of life. Facts of life.
Oh gosh.
That's going back a few years, isn't it? Showing my
Yes,
age
it
Just a
is.
there.
few. Just a few.
Okay, so Bonnie, this is so funny because I'm going to tell you what, I flipped this card for you. And then I was like, no, that's not the right card. And I reshuffled the deck, got the same damn card.
That
That's
is
what
the
you
right
get.
card.
That's
So
what
this
you
is the
get.
right card for you. Do you see this?
There's a glare. I
This
don't, yeah,
is
it's a
the
glare.
Four of Wands. Okay. I mean, I get
Do you know me? Good, bad, or indifferent.
no, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. You know me. I'm not shy about giving the bad news or, I mean, I have to get it myself sometimes and it's a little sucker punch sometimes, but we all need to hear things.
Mhm.
You need to believe in your own divine self. You have
Mm.
the power to change things if that's what you want to do, but you have to make the choices to move into the light.
Hmm. I'll
Stay
have to give that one
grounded.
a lot of thought.
Stay
Mhm.
grounded. Okay, that I'm getting to. Stay
Mhm.
grounded. So one of the best ways to ground yourself is getting your bare feet on the earth.
I was just gonna
Okay.
ask if you knew what that was, Bonnie.
Not really.
Okay.
So get your grounding yourself is bringing yourself back down to the earth plane. You have to like me, I have to be conscious of that a lot because I love playing in what I call playing in the stratosphere out there because there's no limitations. I love playing out there. And then, like I've told Jessica this before, I've actually had experiences where I've been so up here in Never Land, and I've had to bring myself back down and into my physical body, and I have felt like I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was drowning when I pulled myself back into my physical body because I was not grounded. Things don't make sense. You'll be off kilter. You may even feel like you're falling a lot if you're not balanced and grounded. So one of the
Oh
quickest
man.
ways is to get your bare feet on the earth.
Bearings.
Okay.
Okay.
You can also
Uh-huh.
literally like walk outside with your bare feet and put them on the ground and
Okay.
just stand there and let yourself feel connected. You can also imagine roots growing from your feet into the earth and a golden cord coming from your core down into the ground
Mhm.
to the center of the earth. And that will
Mhm.
help ground you also. So doing those visuals, but it's
Okay.
very important you stay grounded, but believe in your divine self. And you get to decide, are you gonna stay where you are? Or are you gonna go? Are you gonna go allow yourself to grow and be in the light? You have to decide that. You have that choice. And that's the beautiful thing, y'all, is that we have free will. We have free will. I can give all the beautiful readings all day long and tell people this is what I see, this is what I see. But if you don't take that, knowledge is not power. People say that all the time. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Because if you don't take that knowledge and put it into action, it got shit. You might as well not have the knowledge because you're doing nothing with it, right?
Yep.
So
Gotta do
you have to
something with it.
decide what am I going to do with it? This is the message that I've received. This is what come through. What am I going to do with it? And that is
Mhm.
true for every single person. And like a lot of people, Jess and I've talked about this before, we'll get intuitive readings and then they'll get mad. Well, that person wasn't right because it didn't go this way. Well, let me tell you something. The readings are based on your energy in the moment, right? You come
Right.
to me today, I
Mhm.
give you a reading, and if you keep making the decisions down the timeline that you would make right now in this moment, then that reading will remain true for every single thing I say. But
Mhm.
if you decide one
I
day to
believe
take a
you.
left turn and go an opposite direction, for instance, like if you came to me, I'm just going to use this as a dramatic, for instance. You come to me and you're a raging alcoholic, and I do a reading for you, and you remain being a raging alcoholic, my reading is going to hold true for you. But if one day you decide, hey, I'm going to get sober, and you do, and you stay sober, then that reading is going to become irrelevant for you because you're not the same person that you were when I did the
Right.
reading. The
Right.
energy is completely different. The choices you make are now going to be completely different than choices that a raging alcoholic would have made. So you can see how
Mhm.
it really depends on what our free will is.
Mhm.
Mhm. See, girls, that didn't hurt one bit.
I've had some advice given to me here lately that smarted a little bit. I got told to get my head out of that dark, smelly place.
What was that? I missed what you said. To get your head out of what?
That dark, smelly place.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we all need a check sometimes. We need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves, as the old saying goes.
Yeah. Oh, that was it was what saying? I heard that in a song. Like seriously, like a 90s hip hop song.
I don't
You don't
know.
remember? Okay.
Well, I
Okay,
didn't
I thought
listen
maybe
to
that's
hip
where you got it.
hop.
Never mind.
Shoot. Any hip hop I listened to was at the club and I was too inebriated to remember the words. I'm just gonna say
That had to be
that.
a long time ago.
It was, yes, ma'am, it was. So anybody else want a
Ooh.
card? Jess, you getting someone else coming through?
Well, not I drew Mickey Mouse.
You drew Mickey Mouse.
I
Anybody?
it's not a very good Mickey Mouse, but
Anybody
yeah,
going to Disney World?
I'm not going to Disney World.
I'm not going to Disney World.
No desire.
I don't support Walt Disney
I
anymore.
don't think so. Maybe just a random drawing. I don't know. I've never felt compelled to draw Mickey Mouse, but hey. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, it looks like a bear.
It does.
Anybody else
Clearly,
want a
my
card?
daughters did not get the art gene from me.
Oh, I know her daughters are beautiful artists, y'all. Seriously,
they
her
are.
daughters, beautiful girls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
beautiful
Thank
girls,
you.
beautiful artists.
Yes,
Anybody
they are.
else want a card? Andy, any
Yep.
particular question?
Sandy.
Because it's already spit out the card. I have it in my hand, so.
Oh, yeah. Just really just general. Am I, how's it going?
Well, let's see here. Oh, look at
Please don't,
you.
it's not the moon, is it? Please don't say it's the moon.
It's not the moon.
Okay. Okay.
Can you see this?
No, I can't.
Oh, hold on. It's the Two of Pentacles. Do you feel like you're juggling?
Okay.
Do you feel like you're juggling some things right now?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, um, so I feel like one of these two things that you feel like you're juggling right now naturally takes precedence over the other. If you allow yourself to step back and look at it objectively, one of these things naturally takes precedence over the other, and that's the thing you should give your focus to.
Okay.
You are getting divine help. You may not feel like it, but you are.
Yeah, I kind of do feel it lately.
And you have the ability to change to meet the situation. There may be something you need to work on changing to meet the situation. Maybe you need to change your perspective about something or change what you're doing around the situation.
Okay.
But and ask for the divine help. Ask for the divine help because it's right there.
Okay.
And that's something too that a lot of us don't do is we just assume that if we need help that we're going to get it, and that's not how it works. Sometimes it is.
For
If it's
some
like
reason, sometimes it's so hard to actually say the words and like say it out loud and ask for the help. I don't know why, but I have trouble with that.
right.
I do.
And I used to as well until I became aware that I needed to do it. And then I started doing it. And the results were like so mind boggling that now I'm always asking for help. Like every time I'm like, did I get a little help with this? Or, You know, like when I'm drawing
Yeah.
cards, I'm always like, you know, angels and guides, you know, please, you know, give me the right card for Sandy or whoever I'm reading
Yeah.
for. And thank you, you know. I do it when I draw cards for
Yeah, I'm
myself.
trying to
I
do
draw a
that
card
too.
for myself every day too. So yeah, so ask for help. Don't be stubborn. Don't be a D. Don't be stubborn. Ask for help. And legit, I'm like, I'm
Okay.
serious, y'all. I used to think, well, if I can't do it by myself, then you know, but then I started asking for help and I'm like, oh my God, like it's so much easier, Sandy. It's so much easier. Oh my God. It is. It's
I
just,
believe
it's
it. I believe it.
so, you know, just allow yourself, give yourself that gift of asking for that help because it's right there and it's going to help you sort everything out and maybe gain that different perspective that you need to handle that thing that is actually the priority.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Sure.
Cheers. Yeah, y'all don't be shy. I mean, this is why we're here.
I go then. What can I ask for? Um, I'm actually curious because I put a lot of goals for this year, but I think I'm curious to know about my personal life. Because it's not as successful as my work, I guess. I'm talking about more a personal relationship. And so, yeah, I'm curious to see if there is going to be a change this year or not. Although I'm very happy person, but
Yes.
you know, happy
Yes.
whatever.
Well,
But yeah,
it's
curious.
important to be happy within ourselves and not expect someone else to fulfill that for us because they can't. They literally can't. They can add to it, but they can't make it happen. Okay, hang on. I gotta grab your card. It just flew out. I got goosebumps everywhere. You're gonna have everything you want. You're gonna have
Why?
everything you want. Oh my gosh, look at this. Can you see this? 10 of Wands. Look, here you are with every single thing that you want. Everything.
Oh, look at that.
Everything.
What is that card?
10 of Wands. I'll tell you what. I am gonna take a picture of this and send it to you on Messenger so you can have it. So you can see it. It's amazing. Y'all, I love spirit. I'm telling you, I'm so fascinated and impressed with spirit. I don't get impressed by a whole lot of things, but I'm always impressed with spirit.
10 best restaurants.
Sorry.
You're fine. That's amazing. Like every single thing, the light, the home, the everything, you're gonna have it all.
Well, it would be great.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Anything I should be aware of, though, or
So I
ready
feel
to.
like, and it's funny you asked me that particular question because as I'm looking at this, I feel like you may see aspects of this as a little bit of a burden in some way. Or maybe aspects of it feel heavy to you for some reason. But you have every capability of the words that want to come out of my mouth are pulling it off. You have every capability of pulling it off, if that makes sense to you.
Mhm.
You need to speak your truth. You need not to hold back. And I feel like, you know, I just feel like I need to say that a lot of times when people think, a lot of times people will, not you personally, but people in general will feel like to speak their truth, they must be blunt about things and harsh in the way they say things because that's the honest truth or whatever. but I feel like being diplomatic, and you and I you kind of used that phrase with me, you have to be mindful of language when we were speaking yesterday.
Yeah.
So, but don't hold back though. I feel like it's very important for you to speak your truth and make sure your voice is heard. Don't let your voice be squashed, right? And maybe that's the piece of it that feels heavy for you, that you're afraid that your voice may not be heard. And that may have to do with some past experiences. So just be mindful of that and make sure that you don't allow your voice to be squashed and that you're always speaking your truth. Yeah,
Okay.
that
I will remember that. Thank you.
welcome. Jess? Angela, do you want a card?
Yeah.
Jess wants a card. You want me to do Jess first?
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh
do
my
Angela.
gosh, Jessica. Listen, I'm gonna just
What?
tell y'all straight up what happens when I draw cards for Jessica. My deck throws them at me. And a lot of times
Every time.
it like throws multiple cards at me and I have to be like, no, I only want one, and I have to put them back in, and or I'll just take the top one because it's the one that's up or whatever. It throws cards at me. Don't let this freak you out, Jessica. This is the card you got.
Well, I can't tell what it is. What is it?
All right, I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay. Well, I'm on my phone record on this.
Oh, you are.
So
Ah, okay.
I mean, you can send it. I'll just have to look at it later.
Yeah, I will send it. Hang on,
Okay.
I just want to make sure y'all get all the stuff, The first time I got this card, y'all, I had an absolute meltdown because I wasn't expecting it, and I had already
Oh shoot. Oh
gotten
shoot.
a I had already gotten a
I'm
reading
glad that was your card.
the day before that kind of made me curious. Okay, so it's the devil card. See?
No, it's the devil card.
It's the devil. And a lot of people think that means
Okay.
Means something really bad, but you know what? You
It
are
doesn't.
hiding yourself. You're not wanting to get yourself out there because you are afraid that you may be judged. People are going to think certain things about you. So there's like this web of bullshit that your heart is in the middle of, right? So there's all this bullshit around and your heart is here because you want to hide yourself. And once you allow yourself to come out, then your heart is just going to be free.
Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah.
Yep. All of my cards have been saying those pretty much. Yeah. For a while now. I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
So this again is personal choice thing. We get to decide what we're going to do with the information and the changes that we're going to make. So, and having
Yep.
said that, I am super, super proud of my friend because she has made some big strides, and I'm so proud of you, Jess. I am. I am.
Oh,
And
thank
y'all look
you.
at her. See how happy she is? Like, I mean, tell me
Yeah,
this isn't what
she
she's
looks
supposed to be
beautiful.
doing. Look at her. She's
You
glowing.
look beautiful and happy.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's right.
See, I can get all in love.
Appreciate it.
Damn it, Jessica.
I know. Don't start. Don't you start. Don't get me going. I've held it together just fine so far. Almost got a little teary-eyed, but
Oh,
reeled it in.
Angela, what question do you have? Because the deck's throwing cards at me for you too. So,
Uh-oh.
you have a particular question?
I'm considering a career change.
Okay.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh my God. You are not going to believe this.
Mhm.
You got the devil too.
Ah!
Y'all stop
I
hiding
knew that. I
yourselves.
knew that one was sounding kind of familiar.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's funny.
it's the same thing for you. You need to stop hiding yourself, have confidence and believe in your gifts that you can Embrace what your heart wants and quit looking at what everyone else thinks, does, says. Give them one of these because it doesn't matter. Listen, they can't live your life for you. Girl, they cannot. So it doesn't matter if they're happy with it. Are you happy? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Free yourself, free your heart. Do what your soul is telling you to do. Do what your soul is telling you to do.
I don't think that's legal.
Well, your soul
My
isn't going to
God.
tell you to do anything that's going to get your ass thrown in prison. So there's that.
Don't want that.
Oh my gosh, how fun. Anybody else have any questions or any concerns? Anything you just want to talk about? Anything you want to know personally about Jess or myself?
I already
No?
know you're the greatest, so I'm just
Bonnie.
putting that out there.
Well, thanks. Yeah. This has been interesting, you know. It started with mediumship and then we just we went all over. It was fun though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
We're gonna do these more often.
yeah, absolutely. That's a blast. No one has any more questions or anything?
I have a question. Obviously, how does it work when, like for me and my background obviously is French. How do spirits come through and how do you hear their messages? I know it sounds silly, but if
No,
No,
it doesn't
it's not
sound
silly
silly
at
at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, for me, um, I don't necessarily hear with my ears. When I connect with spirit, for me, it's like photographs in my mind or a movie playing in my mind. And there's no language barrier with spirit. You know, they're communicating with us in whatever language that we speak. Um, so I mean, for me, that's pretty much it. It's cut and dry. They can connect. There's just no language barrier. A lot of it is also feeling, rather than words. Sometimes feelings that we get. But for me, I mean, yeah, that's sums it up.
and does
How
it
about you,
matter
Dee?
the distance where you are or in the world as a medium, or does it
no.
matter or
No, it doesn't. And that's the beautiful thing is that spirit is wherever spirit needs to be when spirit needs to be there. So there's no limitations. And you know, one of the things that I find myself saying a lot lately after I've been I've been chatting with a certain somebody in my life is that we can't use logic to explain these things. And the phrase is, how can you use logic to explain something that is not logical and cannot be explained? It just
Mhm.
is the way it is, you know, and that sounds like a really oversimplified version of it, but it's the truth. I mean, so many, like, how do you explain what happened? You know, how do you explain that I felt my dad tickling the back of my neck before we started this? That makes no sense. But he's not really physically standing behind me, you know, and that's why you know, one of the things you'll hear a lot of mediums say is like, I don't hear voices because spirit can't talk because they don't have a voice box. Well, they don't effing have hands either, but I sure did feel my dad tickling my neck a minute ago. So if they can tickle you, then
Yeah.
why can't they say something to you? And if they can do those
Mhm.
things, just think about it. If they can do those things, then why would there be a language barrier? Why would there be a time and space barrier? Time and space is something that's a human construct. It absolutely does not exist outside of the human construct. It doesn't. You know, if you look at, I don't know how you feel about the I call them universal beings, the extraterrestrials, and the amazing technology, higher consciousness of universal beings, where they can bend time and space. Like you see them here, and then the next second they're over there, like in a second. Like, how do they do that? They don't travel that fast. What they do is collapse time and space so that they went from there to there, kind of like when you're dreaming and you go from one place to another in your dream. You're not walking over there. You're not like, oh, da, 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 da. No, you imagine you're here and then you're there. That's how it works. So there's no logic. I mean, if you try to logically explain that, your head is going to explode, so it's all of the stuff that's
Unfathomable.
possible. And that's what I was saying a while ago, about me having to keep myself grounded. I walk around barefoot all the time. If I didn't, I can't even imagine what would happen in my life, because I love playing around out here because there's no limitations. There's no
Mhm.
judgment. It doesn't have to be this way or that way. It can just be whatever it is, and it's fine.
Mhm.
So yeah, all those are just human constructs that don't exist in the spirit world at all.
Yeah.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
It is cool. I'm amazed by it all the time. It's so incredible.
I know we are always saying, I love spirit. It's so amazing. It's just,
Yeah.
it's constant learning. We'll never know everything about it.
Yeah.
And it amazes me like every day. Something cool happens, or I see so much more synchronicity. I don't know, just when you make a habit of it or make a conscious effort, it just really kind of opens your eyes and your spirit, really.
Yeah. Well, as
Yeah.
Tony Robbins said, where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're, and
Yeah.
people think, oh, well, you're just talking about positivity, and don't be a toxic positive person. And I don't even think that's a thing. Like, I mean, I think you can have disassociation, which is not toxic positivity. It's something completely different. You can disassociate yourself from things. But if you're choosing to mindfully pay attention to the positive things, it doesn't mean you don't know what negative things are. You know what I mean? Like if it's storming outside, that it's storming outside, but you can notice that you're warm and dry in your home. Is that
Mhm.
toxic that
Yep.
you're noticing you're warm and dry when there's a storm going on outside? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Like, we make it
there you
so
go.
complicated, and it doesn't have to be complicated at all. We can focus on
Right.
that. And the more you do, and the more gratitude you pour into that, then the more things are going to come for you to be grateful for, and more positivity is going to come. It has to. That's the law. It's not
Yeah.
just
Law of attraction.
it's not just wishful thinking. It's not an idea. It's the law. It's literally the law. Like the law of
Mhm.
gravity is what keeps you stuck to this planet. Well, you want to be stuck in the muck, or do you want to be stuck in some positivity? I mean, you get to choose where you put your attention. It's like
Yep.
that old Native American saying about the two wolves, which one is gonna win? Which one is the strongest? Well, which one are you feeding?
Mm.
I mean, there's all kinds of
Yep.
analogies about this, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Well, are you watering your own lawn? Like, are you putting nutrients and giving love to your own lawn? I mean, maybe your yard is greener. Are you taking care of that? You've got to be mindful, and by the way, someone needs to hear this. If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, stop saying it to yourself. Stop it. Just stop it.
Mhm.
I don't know. Somebody needs to hear that. Just stop doing that. Don't
Yeah,
do
that's so
that.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're so hard on ourselves, and it's so easy to do. And just don't do that. Like, I mean, just,
Mm.
if you have to put my face in front of your eyeballs and say, hey, would I say that to D? Would I say that to D? I mean, use me for that if you need to. And if you wouldn't say it to me, then please don't say it to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be your own best
Mhm.
friend. Be your own best friend. I love me. I give
That's-
myself, and I'm
That's good.
loving myself more every day. I think that's something that we feel like we need to have permission to do sometimes, or we're this horrible person because we took an hour to, go do some yoga or take a walk or, read a book or take a freaking nap. Who cares what it is? We deserve that hour, we do.
Yeah,
So
buddy. I love me some naps.
yeah, man, I love those naps too. Goodness. Jess, you have anything else?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, unless someone else has questions, I could, try to answer.
Anybody?
No, okay.
Not me.
Okay. Well, I want to thank y'all once again for coming in here. It's been an absolute amazing experience. Thank you for making this first time with Jess and myself be so special. I mean, I feel like I've just been like having coffee with friends, like just, oh my
It
gosh.
does. Yes, it did. And I told Bonnie as well, but I told Dee, both of them, that I am so nervous, because I had never done anything like this in a group setting. And typically when I do readings, normally the spirit has come to me to give a message. So this is different for me. I'm, whole new ball game, but it's, you
And
guys
what
made
did
it
we
really awesome.
Yeah, what did we say?
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
You'll do great. Yeah.
Uh-huh,
Yep. I
exactly.
appreciate it.
Exactly. Everything
girls'
happens.
night.
Yes,
That's
like a
right.
girls' night. Exactly.
It's exactly right.
Perfect.
That was
It
nice.
was fun too. I enjoyed
Yes,
it.
Yeah.
I did too.
So happy. Thank you. And thank you
Thank you guys so much.
for helping Jess and myself grow. I mean, truly, because every single experience we have that allows us to stretch ourselves more is helping us grow, and it's helping y'all grow too. I mean, you may not feel that way right now, but trust me, this is an exchange of energy. It's just one big flow. It's not just for one person or another person, it's for all of us. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful for y'all. You have no idea. Ah,
Yes,
I love
Thank
y'all
you.
so much.
Yeah.
You.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. And y'all have a great rest of your night, and I will see y'all again soon. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.